Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural.Show. Sorry for the coughing. I forget, but our mic is hot. Before we get started there, this is the show that is not for entertainment purposes. And today's subject will be a good example of that because we are going to talk about the Nipah virus and the 4th of July and all the hype thereof that's going on around that. And there is a lot. And so we're going to dive very deep into it, but we're going to try to look at it from a logic before authority perspective and think about this before we get carried away, because I'd say majority of the truth community is already carried away. Not to say I haven't done it before, because, well, I have. Today we've got Roxy in the house with us. She is by voice.
Hello.
We have Miss Kim is here with us as well. And she says hi. And we also have Shannon, the Supernatural Show co-host. She's not here as much lately, but she earned her position as the co-host. She was die-hard for a year and a half, and I'm hoping that she is going to start rolling 1 hour a week on her show and talk about whatever she wants to talk about here soon, and just do it.
Yes, I just had a whole lot of the kid stuff these last couple months, so it'll be a little bit easier.
They're going to be 30 soon if we don't watch out. All right, so thank you for everybody for being here. Especially thank y'all guys that are watching, because we'd just be talking to ourselves if y'all guys weren't here. So I thank Joe Nugent for being here. I think this is the Roxy Files. This is Roxy that's here with us by voice in the show with us today again. And she has apparently now has a YouTube channel named the Roxy Files as well. And she's building a website called the Roxy Files, and I'm sure we'll be highlighting that in the very near future when she gets it ready enough. And but just wanted to point out, so you know who that is. That's Roxy. Okay. Hello to John Rennick. Hello to Deanna Odeman, I think maybe is how you pronounce it, Deanna. And hello to Lily from Cali, Velasquez, and appreciate y'all guys being here. I'm sorry that YouTube isn't sending out the notifications ahead of time for the live shows. It's because we're running through Rumble, so Rumble is choosing to be a little stingy on the notification. We're working on getting some other things in place where that will not be continuing, so that y'all guys will get notifications. And we're also going to be implementing soon, hopefully. I've tried to do it before, had some problems, but a cell phone text notification for people who would like to be notified via text. I can do a push, what's called a push now, but it doesn't get noticed very well, but a text will get noticed. So we're going to be doing that. Yes, Roxy does plan on putting out videos on the Roxy Files channel. You want to say anything real quick about that, Roxy?
Well, we are still in the process of trying to get the podcast studio up. It is refurbished and power is on. Internet was supposed to be over this morning. There's been a small snafu with the Wi-Fi provider. But I've been assured after I stood on my head and, said some things to the people at the powers that be at those companies, we should have it in a day or two. I've got episodes ready to go. Just I wanted to be in the studio so everything was set up and wasn't, it was right when we started. But the website's up. It started. It's theroxyfiles.com and the YouTube channel, and there'll be a Rumble channel, and we'll go from there.
Right.
I think I have 6 episodes ready to go as of now. Most of them
And
kind of correlate in one way or another with what we do on here during the day.
Roxy literally rented a house, a mobile home, but rented a house to turn it into a studio. So she's living the work, literally. So she's diving in head first. So she ain't going nowhere anytime soon. I want to make you aware that when you see My Southern Life, that's Miss Kim in the comments. So when you see My Southern Life there, it's Miss Kim. Okay. And what is when you're in the comments, Shannon, does it say Soul 7? Or what does it say?
It says, I believe, Soul 7 music, or yeah, I'm pretty sure Soul 7
Okay.
music.
Okay. So,
Um,
hello, convicts. Appreciate you being here. Mike says he would like to get text notifications. Okay. I'm going to have the setup for that here soon where you'll be able to just go and indicate that. And then, because I don't want to send them to people, you'll have to choose the public, Shannon.
Yeah, well, that's just the thing. It won't let me. I'm technically on the public, but it's
It
not.
won't, it
It
won't let
will
you
only
choose.
do. Yeah, I have had
Let
this
me
issue this whole time. So
try it again now. Because each show I've noticed I'm having to promote, what you might call promote people to be moderator as the guest, as being guests, because you guys aren't guests, you're regulars. But um, anyways,
did that work?
just try it again and see if it
Nope.
works this time.
I'm doing
It
it
says only,
again.
so it says only. So when you click on the little drop down arrow beside private, it doesn't give you an all option.
Nope.
No, just Rumble, huh? So it must
Yep.
be. But it looks like it's everyone who's on Rumble can see it though, so it did help that a little bit. All right, so that's good. And you got moderation capability, and so do you, Roxy. And if I can figure out how to be able to see Miss Kim's, oh, there we go. Promote her to moderator on here too. So now even on Rumble, you're a moderator for this show specifically, darling.
We got Donna from Australia with us today. She's from Down Under. I'd love to hear her talk.
Right? That would be
I
cool.
love the Australian accent. All of my like automated things that speak to you, they have an Australian accent. I love it.
Let's see if I can stop cutting the top of my head off somehow here. Oh,
It's
that
hard to get all of you in a camera view.
I guess that's about as good as we're gonna get. All right, guys. So let's get down to business. Let's use some logic before authority if we can. What I mean by that, of course, you guys know my channel name. One of them is Logic Before Authority. It's been that way for 12, 13 years. And see, the authority, let me go ahead and share my screen. I can show you what the authority is saying, what they want us to hear, what they want us to think. Let's see here. So
I
you're,
will.
you're fine, Shannon. Don't feel like you got to go anywhere.
Are you sure?
Yep, I'm sure. If I need you to turn your camera off, I'll mention it. Let's look at the authority. Okay. So I typed in Nipah virus. Okay. Just Google search the Nipah virus, Nipah virus. And this is like some of the articles that are coming up. Let me move this over here. Move that one over here. Okay. It's saying this is from 9 June, so today. Okay. And it's saying some words I'm just not going to read. I don't want it said over and over and over and over. And thanks for all the ads. I sure appreciate it. It says fast tracked for the V that kills up to 85% of people it infects. So they've fast tracked this, meaning they warp speeded it. Okay, and it says it's seen by the World Health Organization as a research priority because of its pandemic potential. We really should be beyond the veil, and I'm telling you, because I really want to be able to speak completely freely. We've got to get that straight where we can get really beyond the veil. I'm working on it, guys. Um, so it says a V developed by scientists at University of Oxford for the Nipah may soon be available. It says the V has been granted support from the European Medicines Agency's PRIME scheme, well, the perfect words, which aims to fast track the delivery treatments to people through closer collaboration with regulators. It says the World Health Organization considers Nipah a research priority due to its planned, demonic potential. Says that it's fatal to up to 85%. So very, very, very scary, very scary. And here's the thing, and there's a lot of other reports. Okay, they're talking about this thing again. What's in the image right there, and they've got many, many reports coming out even today, and it's starting to pour out about this thing as we approach July 4th, which July 4th is the date that they chose to put on their little scenario that everybody's talking about. Okay. Now here's the thing. If they wanted to just kill you or me or all of us, it would either one already be done or two, it would be over with pretty fast. But it isn't your first death they're interested in. They're interested in your soul. Now, you may or you may not understand exactly what I mean. And I'm just going to explain it the best way I can. And that is, they want you to fulfill Revelation 6:4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. So, and that they should kill one another. And I know I've read this quite a bit lately. It's because that they've got it literally on a rocket, okay, that Elon sent up with this on the side of the rocket. There's this image on it and this image on it, and that's not a very clear picture of the rocket there, but it's got those two on it, and it's got the tip of the spear thing on it with the Space Force, and it's got the Minotaur rocket on it. If you look at these things, this is on the side of something of great power, and it is obviously a red horse riding through something like a red sky event, and it says our time has come, and it has swords on it, and it says our time has come. The other thing that's on it is this one, the white horse with the crown that you can see at the bottom and on the head, and she has a bow. Now, this is all symbolism. I've explained it before. as to exactly how this symbolism works. It's multi-layered, multifaceted. There'll be an example of it in the heavens, there'll be an example of it here on the earth, and there'll be an example of it even within the human body. All things happen on all three levels, is the way things work in this world, and they know it. So, going back to if they just wanted to kill us, okay? If they just wanted to kill us, it would be easy enough. There's plenty of waters to poison. There's plenty of things that could be done that could just kill us. But they don't want us to be just dead. They want us to kill each other. They want us to do the dirty work. You see? In order for that to happen, you have to have MAGA. What do you mean, MAGA, Daniel? You have to have magic. MAGA means magic in almost every language in the world except for English. It means deception. That's what magic is. It's deception normally using technology. So how are they going to deceive us using technology to cause us to kill each other? Well, one, it's technology they're using to get this information to you about this so-called thing here. Okay. It's technology that they use to create this thing here. Okay. It's technology that they use to make you afraid, make you scared. And it's also technology that they use to shoot these satellites, the two satellites that were said to be claimed to be in this head of this rocket.
And it's also technology that they want to upload your soul and consciousness into.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's technology magic. It's MAGA. And yeah, it's not by coincidence that the word MAGA is a thing. Okay? They don't think that you're going to look far enough to understand that in Sanskrit, and Hebrew, and Greek, and pretty much all the old languages, that MAGA means magic, deception. Now, deception. So, what that means is they are going to tell us one thing, but they're going to deceive us as to what actually happens. Okay? They want you to run and they want you to get this. Okay? Now, there is a good possibility that the people that already got this last time, some of them may be sacrificed and used as a tool because, unfortunately, some of those people will be unredeemable. That's just my opinion. It's not my judgment. Not doesn't mean all of them. It just means that some of these people could be used as a blood sacrifice that will scare the crap out of everybody else. Just imagine whether it be July 4th or whether it be September 23rd or whether it be whatever day that they say there's some kind of emergency going on. Like I put out a video earlier today, as a matter of fact, where they were saying that I'm not sure where I should get my thing to work here. Maybe I'll try to relaunch it. Um, we had a EAS emergency warning thing today, and I put out a video on it earlier today on the Logic Before Authority YouTube channel, and it was an emergency warning that was from 11:01 a.m. to 12:01 p.m. Literally an hour long with, if I could get this thing to pull up, I'd show you what it said on there, but I'm having a technological problem. But it basically just said that this is a warning for all these states, and it had about half the states listed on it, including South Carolina. And I've never seen one of these that lasted an hour. Now, I went into the comments on everybody's video, and nobody seen it. A couple of people did say that they seen it. It was on the Spectrum network is where it was located at, is where we seen it. You couldn't pull up any Spectrum channel there is. I don't really watch television, but we have one. I mean, even this monitor technically is a television. But it went on for an hour. And there's going to come a day when they're going to pull this thing. Remember, Trump was the one that set up the presidential alert system when he was in office last time, which they never used since he used it that one time. I wonder why he did that. But most people aren't seeing it pretty much anywhere. But there were a few exceptions. People did see it. But here, it was on for an hour straight. So when that day comes and they decide that they want to trigger some of these sacrifices, I'm sure that they have them multi-layered. Everybody didn't get the same thing. And they can just say, okay, this group. And then you got 50, 100,000 people drop dead or go nuts.
Which reminds me, remember back when we were going over all this stuff about the eclipse? And there was that gentleman's video that we saw that he was talking to an anonymous sheriff of that area. And they had been briefed by Homeland Security that it is very possible a whole bunch of people could go nuts, basically, and to be prepared. I feel like that's one of the biggest things to me to keep an eye on, because they can take out a bunch of people through technology, through these waves of things, and make it look like a pandemic situation again. But that affects so many people. But if there are a bunch of people around you that just all of a sudden lose it, that is very dangerous. It is a very dangerous situation. So that
it would fulfill what was on the side of the rocket.
Right. And that to me seems like, again, it kind of goes on that whole zombie apocalypse thing that's been thrown in our face in every show and every movie that we've ever.
Video games, comic books, everything.
All of this, predictive programming crap. Sorry, stuff. I said bad.
I think crap's okay.
It's just saying, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing you need to really just be prepared for in your soul. Like, say your mom out of nowhere loses it and goes after you. You got to be like, that's something you got to prepare your heart for if something like that happens. And it's not to scare you, but that's like a scenario to me that it's even more devastating than a bunch of people just dropping dead, from all of it's bad. I'm not sounding very good right now, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, that to me sounds like the chaos that they are trying to go for. And, understanding of the stuff that's going on in LA and things that are being brought up in this whole fake feud between, the Trumpster and Mr. Musk guy, the Musket guy. It's all a ritual to get this feud to go. It's they want us to not like each other.
They want us to kill one another.
Exactly.
They don't want the blood on their hands. Because, see, if you kill if we kill one another, we have to carry that blood on our hands. Now, I will say this: if somebody's turned straight on zombie, they're gone already. Okay, at least that's the way I'm going to deal with it and look at it. Okay, but they don't want the blood on their hands. They want us to do the dirty work. So that's why they literally put the thing on the side of the rocket that they shot in the sky. And it literally says the same thing, shows the symbolism of the same thing, where they're saying they're getting ready to pull the white horse and the red horse. They've already got the white horse, it's running. They're getting ready to run the red horse. We know that there's a date coming when it's going to be kind of zombie-esque. And no, I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but they want us to kill each other
I can tell you,
because that traps the souls. They're not interested in just your death. They're interested in your second death. Okay, they're interested in trapping your soul here, basically in hell, if you want to look at it like that, because they can't ascend, so they don't want you to be able to. They want you trapped.
I have had several dreams and visions of this exact type of scenario. And every single time I've had those, the only thing that protected me and kept me safe was calling out to Jesus. I just want to throw that out there because, again, this is not to scare you, but if this scenario goes down, which I'm pretty sure it is, could be wrong, but if this is what's going down, you you don't rely on your own strength. You call out to Jesus because that's the only way you can be protected in this way. Just that's yeah.
And another main point, and also I want to say, Roxy, you chime in anytime you want. But another main point I want to make sure people get is the level of deception with what they've got planned. Okay, it ain't gonna be as straightforward as them put out a report saying we're gonna take you out, and this is how we're gonna do it. And here's the date, and this is how it's gonna go down, and it's gonna go that exact way. It ain't gonna work exactly like that. They're not just gonna come in and put out a virus or a poison that's just gonna kill everybody. They want us to do it. They've got to make us think that we got to kill these other people because that's how they want to do it. That's how they operate. They, I've been doing this. Lord, we got to be going on 16 years, something like that, but at least 15 years. And I know that may not sound like a long time, but it's been 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because I live this even in my sleep. I wake up in the middle of the night with this stuff going on. And I'm figuring things out and get up and write things down or make notes or whatever things. I live it. And I've done it for 15 years, okay? I've done nothing else. I've never worked anywhere else. This is all I've done. And I couldn't do it if it wasn't for y'all guys' support. So thank you very much for that. Um, so I want you to understand deception, just like they deceived before or attempted to deceive us before, to run and get the little bottle full of stuff that draws back like a bow, and then, okay, they're going to do something similar again. It's going to be, it'll have a new twist, okay, but they want to get into your blood. They want to bypass the natural protections that our bodies have, and they want you to volunteer. Don't let them put nothing up your nose. Don't let them put nothing in your body. No matter what, don't do it. You have no idea what's in that stuff. You cannot trust a liar and deceiver, and that's what they do, and that's what they are. You cannot trust them.
We got some questions on
Huh?
incubation periods.
Say what, Roxy?
We got some asking about incubation period on this virus. Normally it's 4 to 14 days. In some cases it can take up to 45. It starts with fever, headache, muscle pain, vomiting, sore throat. Then it will go to dizziness, drowsiness, altered consciousness, neurological signs indicative indicative of acute cephalitis. Seizures can occur, progressing to a coma within 24 to 48 hours. 20% of survivors experience residual neurological consequences such as seizure disorders and personality changes.
And that's what they're telling us it's going to do. That's what they're telling us. Now, they may be, because what it sounds like to me when Roxy was reading all those symptoms and psychological derangement and stuff, it sounds like to me uh, the symptoms of what we seen last time, but maybe just worse. Okay, the people that took these, okay, but worse. Like they're gonna trigger something, like from the movie The Sale, where something went out through the airwaves and it triggered something in people who have those nanocrystals in their forehead, and they have the literally straight on full operating systems installed in their body because they took it in through the blood. They've got all that stuff. They know how it works. All the patents are out there. You can pull it all up. It's all there. If they pull that trigger, these people will start looking very sickly, doing crazy stuff.
I wanted to bring something up real quick. I wouldn't say it's off topic, but I feel like it's kind of it's something I'm questioning and would like your all of you guys all of your opinion. As I stumble over my words. When that Spanish ship, ran into the bridge in New York,
Uh-huh.
there was a situation that happened right as that had happened in Times Square, with all the big TVs everywhere. It flashed an image of a man for a little bit, and it was like all the screens everywhere in Times Square all popped up this image
Of a
and
man?
of a man, and to me it looked like George Floyd or something like that. And to me it was like a trigger, you know, like they were subliminally triggering something. And if it was indeed, Mr. Floyd, I find it a bit interesting that we've gone into these riots and all this stuff again. And if that's the case, then how many more of these situations are we going to have where something happens and there's a big old flash on our screens or something to induce those who have taken, that arm
Like a
thing?
subliminal trigger you're talking about.
Right. And I'm just curious if any of you guys had seen that, and if it looks like that person to you too, and if that kind of, if you're thinking the same kind of thing as trigger stuff. And if that's the case too, then that's something to keep an eye on and to remember, when we're constantly on these black mirrors, these scrying black mirrors, what stuff is being flashed in our face to trigger things, like the whole Fight Club scenario kind of thing. I mean, that's
Anybody who has a
constantly being
really good camera should get in the dark with their phone in their hand, looking at their face. Take your good camera, if you got a good video camera, take a video of it and super slow mo it. Watch how many times, with your phone screen locked, watch how many times that thing flashes you in an infrared and you don't even realize it. This is what, okay, if you hang up trail cameras, which I think Daniel's got so that he could go do it with that. But like, there's a thing. Okay, my crowd used to be deer hunters. Like, when you're out there, you don't even realize that these animals can pick it up when we don't see it as humans because of how they see.
right.
But like, the animals can pick you out in the forest because even if it's in your pocket, it's constantly flashing wherever you've got it. in your pants pocket, in your bra, wherever you might stick it. It's constantly like doing a photo recognition of your face to see if you're looking at the phone. It's looking for attention. Look at it through one of those security cameras, like night trail cameras like Daniel's got. It will blow your mind. You can see it on YouTube. Some people have already filmed it, but it's like every couple of seconds that phone's flashing you and you have no idea.
See, this is exactly
Hmm.
what I'm talking about. And just like that dome thing in Vegas, where and there's been several instances where they've caught all the subliminal messaging in between things. It's something that we got to be aware of, so we're not just like taking in stuff.
Just so you guys know, speaking about the phones, and ain't it a coincidence that we all have one? And they will give them away free if you're really, really poor.
Yeah, you can't afford a home, no problem. You can still have a phone.
You can still
No
have a
food, you
phone.
can have a phone.
You can have a phone.
Now, this stuff is just it's disturbing because it's my job to try to guide people. Well, one thing about the phone, okay, if you put it in your freezer or your refrigerator, shut the door, it can't receive or send signals, even if it's on. You can just chunk it in there and shut the door. It's like it goes vanished, okay? So if you ever wanted to vanish it without destroying it, vanish it in your refrigerator. And if you want to make sure, double sure, wrap it in aluminum foil a few times and chunk it in the refrigerator.
Let me give you one better. Put it
This
in
creates a
aluminum
Faraday
foil,
cage,
in a Ziploc bag, in a bowl of water.
big bowl,
A big bowl of water.
or
Somebody that
in
I
the
follow
sink or
who
something like that.
I've been listening to somebody who I would have never thought would have been somebody I would have listened to for what he was saying. But he's one of these people that you have to listen to what he's saying. And in an interview, which he very rarely does, him and somebody else who was a fantastic musician, he's a seven musician, both of them kept saying the only safe place for the human body to be is in water. It's the
Yeah,
only place they can't get to you because water disrupts all frequency.
I was literally thinking about that earlier. So I'm glad you brought that up. If you've got the ocean near you, or a pond near you, or a bathtub, if things just get really insane and you feel like you're something's going on and it's messing with you, you know, try to get as submerged underwater as you possibly can, and you may find some relief. I know that's not a miracle solution, okay? The other one would be is pray and talk to your father, but submersion underwater will greatly degrade uh, the frequency's ability to mess with you. Like if they decide to mess with our emotions, make us angry or make us whatever, I'm pretty sure happy ain't gonna be one of them. And they have the technology to do this. You could use water to try to escape. You could take all the shelves out of your refrigerator, get in and shut the door. Don't lock yourself in there, of course, but you could. It is a Faraday cage. Take everything out of the fridge, heck with whatever it is. If you need to escape, trying to give you a couple of ideas of how to escape. Get yourself a break. Okay, maybe it's something that's going on for an hour, and you're like, I can't take it, and go get in the refrigerator. You may say, well, dang, that sounds nuts. It's a Faraday cage.
So does a tinfoil hat, but it'll work.
And tinfoil hat, you need that on when you're submerged in the water with the straw that you're breathing through.
Well, for anybody out there who already feels like sometimes they may be overwhelmed by the EMF, EMF sickness is something that is prevalently known in other countries. It's not talked about in America. We don't discuss it because anytime we bring it up, we're told that we're just conspiracy theorists, but yet other countries, you know it. If you ever just feel like you're overwhelmed, seek out a float tank. It is a deprivation chamber. You go and float in water. All sight, sound, EMF, everything is cut off. You're in pitch black darkness. Some of them are like capsules, some of them are like little pools. But I'm telling you, it was one of the most amazing things I ever did. It was the best reset I've ever had. I wish there was one close by, but you got to drive 2 hours from here.
Yep. Good advice. This solution that they're trying to tell us that they've already gotten prepared for us. Okay, they're calling it the CHADOX1, something like that. Uh, Nipah B, with the word that starts with a V after it. And so what I did, I wanted to see what that word come up with in Gematria, because if it's whatever it's tied to, there'll be hints of it in Gematria. So I ran it in the calculator, okay, which you can pull up off of Gematrix.org, Gematrix.org. And notice the numbers. It's interesting, this right here. All these numbers are very interesting. And this 55 is very, very interesting to me. But if you come down in the different calculators, okay, the first thing that says is a satanic mark, okay, which I say very interesting, okay. And then come down to the English cipher, and it literally says Satan as the first match to it. So I would imagine that it's not a coincidence that this word is the exact mathematical equation for Satan. Okay? It would obviously mean that it is tied to it in somehow, shape, or form, as we already know. But it's just another small confirmation, you might say. And I hadn't done it yet, but I thought I'd run the whole entire word, series of 3 words, as you can see right here, in the calculator and see what it came up with. And I may take one of those words off in a second. But let's go down and just see what it says. Well, the first one is you're going to die soon. Ain't very good. But let's go down. My eyes are very good at scanning these quickly for anything that stands out to me. Like Year of the Dragon. Sounds about right, or pretty close to it. Great Solar Flash. Very much a trigger as well. Speaking of that reminds me of iPet Goat, where the dragon spews. But we're going to look at that here in a second as well, because there's scenes in there that are concerning. Um, Last President, Son of Saturn, aka Son of Satan. All right. Skullduggery. That's the name, one of the names of one of the characters, I think, out of iPad Goat, actually. Invictus Games. Okay, so I just wanted to look at that real quick. And I wanted to see. Oh, and I want to point this out. There are reports about Lieberman, okay, being involved in this whole thing since like 2005 or 2006. Okay, you got the list of characters that are playing saying that they're got this committee together and they're trying to protect us from the virus and all this. And it's a lot of the same people. Like the guy that's the head over the whole thing, he was the one that overseen uh, reviewing what happened on that day back in September in 2001. One of those other events they did. But supposedly this virus emerged out of Malaysia in 1998 as a uh, neurological and respiratory disease. Okay, and they're saying that it spread to humans, that it had contact with infected pigs. Now they're saying it's bats, but originally, because this paper here is from back from like 2006. And what we're reading is from 2006 about the Nipah thing. Okay, so this word and this idea has been around for a long time, and it's these guys that are ones I'm referring to. I wanted to show you something I found that was just kind of weird. I just went to digging into the word Nipah and where it comes from, and there's going to be a few of you that this is going to ring a bell when you look at these images. This is called the Nipah palm tree, and it produces a fruit. This is the palm trees. They live they live in brackish water. They live along the edge of riverbanks that are close to the ocean. And this is their fruit. As you can see, it's a very large fruit. But this word that they're using comes from this name of this fruit. Okay. Now, remind me, Shannon, because they said it's a neurological disease. That's one of the things, right?
Right.
Causes people to lose it up here. Remind me, Shannon, do you remember a video I did that had something to do with the thorny apple?
Oh, I
Do you
think
remember that?
so.
Huh?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's kind of vague, I'm sure. But
Right.
the thorny apple. Okay, let me say it again in a different way. There's a statue at the Vatican that has two, I think, birds on each side. And
Right.
in the middle between it, what does it have?
The
Pine cone.
pine cone. Yes.
It's symbolism for right between our eyes. It's the pineal gland. It's the Ark of the Covenant that exists within us. It's related to the ethmoid bone and the pineal gland that looks like a thorny apple. It looks like it's a thorny fruit. Whether you realize it or not, a pine cone is actually a flower that produces it's like a fruit, but it's just a hard fruit. It's a woody fruit. Just like this is a hard woody fruit. But it's just very interesting that this Nipah name is tied directly to these trees and this fruit right here. I don't know if I can explain exactly why it's so interesting to me, other than to say this world is all about symbolism. And for them to tie this thing, because whatever happens, it may not even be related to this Nipah thing, first off. And nothing may not even happen on the 4th of July. We know there are things that we know something's going to happen again at some point. But again, I'm just saying it's interesting that they've tied it to the palm tree. You see, I think I had a couple of slides here about, yeah. Yeah, let's look at these real quick. this these palm trees and this fruit has a supernatural kind of a connection in those areas of the world where these things grow. It says that some pre-colonial Vezian and Luma traditions, Nipah groves were believed to be inhabited by Dewata, guardian spirits or deities. Okay, it's kind of like saying the word possession comes to mind. Okay, it says these spirits were said to guard the boundary between the land and the sea. Fishermen and Nipah gatherers would offer coins or fermented sap called tuba before harvesting or entering the area where they could get these fruits from. Okay, these woody, thorny apple-like fruits. It says misfortune such as illness, getting lost, injury was interpreted as punishment for disrespecting. I'm mostly pointing out how in Malaysia and the areas of the world where they chose to bring this name from is tied to one, a thorny apple or a thorny fruit that's in the image, similar to the image of the pineal gland that's in our head. It's right between your eyes behind the ethmoid bone. And hopefully all of you or many of you have seen my studies on the ethmoid bone. It's literally in the image of the Ark of the Covenant and of Noah's Ark. And also a cross with a veil hanging on it. It's called the ethmoid bone. Look it up in 3D if you get a chance. Then it goes on to say how, it says, Babylon priestesses and shamans used fermented Nipah sap in ritual drinks to invoke spirits or alter states during trance ceremonies. The palm symbolized a living connection to ancestral spirits and the spirit world. Okay. One other here, I think. Nipah spirit, or Hantu Nipah. In Malaysian swamp folklore, there's mention of Hantu Nipah, a ghost or spirit believed to dwell amongst the Nipah groves, especially near rivers. The spirits were believed to appear in misty dawn hours, so like early morning misty, foggy type things, and could either protect or mislead travelers. Now, to some of you, this is going to seem like just what in the world is Daniel talking about? But you got to understand, I try to look at things on as deep of a level as I can to try to figure out the origin of even why they're using these words, because there'll be a secret hidden there. And it happens to be that the Nipah V thing causes you to go cuckoo. And this stuff is used to make you go cuckoo. And it's talking about it's associated with deities and spirits. You see why there might be a little connection there? So it also says Orang Bunan, the hidden folk. In Malayo-Indonesian mythology, Nipah groves are sometimes sites where Orang Bunayan, invisible spirits, dwelt. These beings are malevolent if respected, but may cause people to become lost. The palm is a location marker for such beings, and it is symbolic of the thin veil between worlds. It's called a threshold plant, and I know that's kind of looking extra deep, but they don't just pick these words and things out of the air, like the whole corona thing, meaning like a crown or essence of that we do have an invisible like halo essence on us, whether you're aware of it or not. But there was a reason why they chose those words, and you have to try to dig and understand it. And when I found that that it's from a palm tree, and it produces a thorny looking fruit that's very similar to pineal gland type look and design. It's almost like it's a possession word, Nipah. And what are we talking about? About people that may get triggered and they'll be possessed and acting like, whether it be zombies or just terribly sick people, or whether they just all die or whatever. We don't know when for sure this is going to happen. Right now, people are freaking out saying it's going to happen literally the 4th of July. I don't know. I'm not so sure. I know they've definitely got plans to just create mass chaos. Absolutely. Um, I also want to note for y'all guys that anytime there's anything going on, if they're going to pull an event, we're talking about the most extremely religious people on the planet. They are religious, just not the religion that you might be familiar with. They will not do anything without the stars being aligned correctly in their minds, with their mystics and their people they go to say, are the stars going to be aligned right on this day? Okay. A couple of interesting things, and you can look up the meanings of them, but I can kind of give you an overview. Neptune enters what's called retrograde motion on the 4th. Okay. And what that means is Neptune reverses its direction in the sky. It was moving one direction, now it stops and turns and starts going the other direction. The moon is at apogee, which means that it's its furthest possible point or smallest appearance in the sky. Okay. So it is at a turnaround point. Neptune is at a turnaround point in the sky. The previous day, we have close approach of Mercury, okay, and some M44 or whatever that is, a comet, I think, or something other. And then there's the Earth is also at its turning point. The Earth reaches its furthest point from the sun on the 3rd and turns around. This is just from a symbolic way we see it kind of thing. The moon and the sun and Neptune are at a turning point in the skies on the 3rd and the 4th. And then we also have what's called a lunar occultation of Spica. Spica is in Virgo. This means that the moon will be, Spica is Virgo's butt. The moon will be under her butt. Okay? Or moon will be over her butt. The moon will be over her moon. To get a little bit more symbolically specific. That these are things that they will heavily take into consider, these kind of things. The conjunction of Venus and Uranus. They said it, I didn't. Said Venus and Uranus share this same right ascension at a separation of 2 degrees, 2.25 degrees. And Mercury is at its greatest elongation, which means Mercury is at its turning point. I am not and never will be a whatever you call somebody that thinks they know everything about the heavens. But I would say it's very interesting that Neptune, the moon, the earth, and Mercury all being at a turning point in the way we perceive of them in the skies. And then the moon is under Virgo's moon, or over Virgo's moon, her, where her butt symbolically would be. Really strange, if nothing else. Um, Anybody's welcome to comment if they want to. I also know it's pretty esoteric stuff.
I'm just intently listening myself. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
the moon phase itself will be in a waxing gibbous, which means it's a little bit more than half full, you might say. Okay. And it would be 9.42 days old. Okay. And literally all this stuff matters to them. Where we were never taught, or maybe didn't even want to know all these things and what they mean. But if you look up, and I did a little looking as to what some of these things mean when these, like Neptune entering its retrograde, meaning it's at its furthest point, it's going this way and turns around and goes the other way as it appears in the sky. And then Mercury doing the same thing, and the moon doing the same thing, and the earth symbolically doing the same thing. Really, it's more the sun than it is the earth doing the same thing, even though they're calling it the earth aphelion. When you look it up, it it says it is a over and over when you start looking at these, when the stars in the heavens are at their furthest points and they turn and go a different direction, this kind of thing, as we perceive it in the heavens, it means it is a time for deception. All of this that I read about and was researching on all of these different things, it all went to deception, it being a great time for deception. And I also had the thoughts come to me about what the Bible says about Satan, right? It calls him a deceiver. And
That's correct.
it calls him a liar. It calls him uh, a lot of things, a dragon. It calls him a lot of different things. But the biggest thing most people think when they think of Satan is deceiver. And this is literally what I found when I started. If anybody knows any more about it, please feel free to send me a text and let me know what you think. Okay, that's the number you can text me at. Um, but from everything I did, and literally also how I actually feel about what's going on. My phone blowing up. Is I feel like there's a grand deception. It's going to look like one thing, but it's going to be possibly the exact opposite. When you see Neptune going one direction in the sky and you're watching it every night, and you expect in the next day for it to do the same thing, and it turns and goes the other way, symbolically, that's a deception. You were deceived into thinking it would continue, but it didn't. And we happen to have Mercury and the sun, or the earth, however you want to look at it, and the moon all doing that. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting.
I mean, we are supposed to take heed of the signs and things in the sky. So
We are
there's
supposed to
importance to
perform those
these.
things, yes. And no, I'm not trying to be a whatever you call those people who study the heavens.
Astrologer.
I'm trying to do me. That's all I can do is do me. Okay. If anybody thinks I'm going too far, we already passed that. Okay, I can only do me, and I do what I feel led to do, and I feel led to tell everybody today that this is deception, and it's tied to the same song and dance. It's just they put another tune on it. It's the same thing. It's all deception. They're getting ready to deceive us again. Don't know if it's going to be the 4th of July. It could be because if it certainly is aligned to be a day of deception. And I know supposedly they're having sort of a parade in D.C., but then I also heard that they were having a 250-year anniversary of the Declaration of Independence celebration next year in D.C. But who knows? That could be a deception too. But then I heard there's tanks moving in all around D.C. right now. It's hard to really know, and I really hope that y'all guys spend some time trying to discern this for yourself. And please don't base anything you do just based on some YouTuber,
Right. Take it to the
especially
Lord.
when they're beating on the drum where it sounds like this is absolutely going to happen. I mean, I don't think so. Let's
Important with anything that any of us talk about on any of these platforms to just take it to the Lord for your own discernment. Ask the Holy
ultimately,
Spirit. Because
ultimately, it's your choice. It's your life. It's your soul. It's the blood on your hands if you get it wrong. I don't want no mine. I'm trying to wash keep my sin washed off from my life I've went through. Okay, doing the best I can. I about forgot to take a look at iPad Go. Roxy, you still awake over there?
I am. I got to go, guys.
I know we were getting close to that time. That's why I was kind of hesitating.
Yeah, I got a grandbaby that's texting going, Nanny, when are you coming? So I got to
All right,
go.
all right. Sorry I
Thank you,
hogged off.
everybody, for being here. Hey, Miss Honeybee, I didn't get to speak to you earlier. Shannon, you let me know what night's good for you. I'm in summertime, so we'll get together. Text me later.
me too. Yay. Okay.
Yay!
Thanks.
All right. Love everybody. Go check out the Roxy Files website. I'll see you Wednesday, if not before.
Is it the RoxyFiles.com?
Yep, theroxyfiles.com.
Okay. All right. So let's do one more thing. Let's look at iPad Go and see if we see anything. And if you're not familiar with iPad Go, I don't know what to tell you. It's an occult created likely by AI. It was put out in 2013, I think it was. And I've spent a decade decoding it. And I think I understand it as well or better than most any so called normie, okay, out here. Um, there's a scene those of us that are familiar with it, we're familiar with the scene. I want to slow this down a little bit so we can see more. There's this scene where looks like there's a battle getting ready to take place, or tanks are rolling in, kind of like they're doing in DC right now. Well, that's interesting, ain't it? That is a quinky dink, maybe. Um, but there's the appearance of something that looks like a battle that's getting ready to take place, and there is a girl. She's a girl from someplace in, like, she's like Korean or Malaysian or something like that, maybe another quinky dink. And you can see this is symbolic of a battle uh, in the body, for one, because you can see these are like rib bones. Okay, this is just symbolic, like rib bones. Okay, you can see that they're on the ground here, that there is a um, yin yang symbol, which is the symbol for the sun being yang and the moon being yin. It's the symbol for uh, a turning point, actually, a turning point in time. It's also a symbol for an eclipse, and you could say a number of other things. So let this roll forward here just a little bit, and we'll look as close as I have the ability. So she's waving the, might say, surrender flag or either peace flag or something like that. And the tanks are moving in. Let me turn off the audio. We don't need to hear that whining. And of course, still rolling on in. Of course, I would always notice the fact that it has a green headlight on this one, if you want to call it a headlight. Because green has certainly been a color we've been discussing lately. And there's basically like an ash falling throughout this whole occult video. It's like kind of like ash falling from the sky. So here she is again. She has a tiger on her back, which would indicate a place like Korea or Malaysia. And she has Father Time, you might call him, or another word for him is skullduggery. Okay? That's what they called him in this. That's what the people at Heliophyte named him, was skullduggery. And here he is. We mentioned the word earlier in Gematria. He has a diamond ring on his finger, symbolizing a very special anniversary time. Like, I would think a very special anniversary time would be 250 years. But suppose we were at 249 for independence, right? Now, let's see what else we get here. So he grabs her, she turns around, and she has a biological symbol on her face. It means she's against using biological weapons, right? She has a little love heart on her face. She's angry. She's red-headed, brown eyes, uh, complexion, and she's obviously from that area of the world, or being depicted as being from that area of the world. Somewhere from Malaysia all the way up through North Korea and those areas. Okay. And then there is the scene showing here. This is skullduggery, or you might call him Father Time, right? He has a daisy in his hat. He has a top hat on, like if you were celebrating something like New Year's or the 4th of July. And there are explosions in the sky, which are in the sky, but they're also, as you can see, this is still has like ribs on both sides. So it's symbolically for in the heavens, on earth, and in the body, some kind of event takes place. Okay. The kazoo is symbolism for one of these same type of events, but it is a frequency producing device. It goes, well, we've all heard them probably, or whatever. It's kind of interesting that it's a frequency producing, so he's making a sound. And the daisy, when do daisies bloom? Is it
In the
spring or early summer? Or I think it's
Oh,
early summer.
let me see.
Look it up, Shannon, if you can.
Why does this have to be so difficult? Let's see.
You didn't mean to do this.
It's just no, I'm just the info. It's spring and summer months,
From
and some.
spring into fall.
Mhm.
Um, says peak bloom period is late spring, early summer. Okay, so like
I mean, right now we're in
July.
technically late spring because summer doesn't start
Yeah,
until next weekend or no
yeah,
week,
we're
yeah,
late. We're definitely late
or the
spring
weekend. Yeah.
still. April, May, June. That's your spring. April, May, June, and then it says early summer, July 4th. Yeah, you can't ignore that match. I would say. Let's see what else we got here. All right. He's got the diamond ring. What anniversary is the diamond ring for?
Oh gosh,
I'll try to pull it up too.
that's a good
What
question.
anniversary is diamond? It says 60th wedding anniversary for wedding, or 75th maybe. But then the symbolics of the diamond are probably deeper than just doing with a wedding. Um,
Here,
yeah, kind of hard to say for sure on that. Okay, let's roll for a little bit more. Certainly, the fireworks seem like 4th of July kind of fireworks or New Year's Eve, because you certainly see the top hat and the kazoo for New Year's Eve. He has a red cape on. Never really paid that much attention to his red cape. Red cape. Red cape. Certainly, the color red is associated with, well, we all probably have some clues on that. And of course, what he's symbolizing is that time is up. Okay, because he's skullduggery or father
oh,
time, the moment of a change, like how I was reading about how the different stars and stuff are doing one thing and it's time to go a different direction. Um, yeah. So let's see.
interesting.
Let it play on here, and of course she's sad because she realizes time is up.
I just kind of wanted to mention something about the diamond ring. In ancient Egypt, Egyptians provided the first recorded uses of diamonds as a spiritual symbol, wherein diamonds were placed in the centerpiece of the ankh. Sorry, blah, blah, and a hieroglyph used to represent the word for life, and ultimately the sign for life itself. The spiritual meaning and significance of diamonds to ancient Egyptians is that they were believed diamonds represented the sun and were a symbol of power, courage, and truth. So I just wanted to, because
Okay, so
there's a lot of Egyptian symbolism in a lot of this stuff too. I thought that was interesting.
absolutely there is. It's yeah. Thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome. Oh,
It's
and the
interesting.
Greeks and the Romans believed that the diamonds were from a celestial material, splintered tails of falling stars, or even tears from the eyes of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
So they, okay.
Okay. Um, when it comes to I Pick Goat, the order of the way that they put things together, as you can see down below, I'm showing you that they show the scene, and I identify this as being the sign of the red horse, okay, being released. Did a video on it a week or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the red horse, all the symbolism for it being the red horse is all there, including the crown and the bow and all that. Even part of going from the white to the red horse. So then it transitions to this scene, and then it goes to this scene with the tanks and stuff and skullduggery, right? And then it goes to him. Here is this Antichrist or symbolism of the dragon in the sky kind of thing, traveling in a boat, kind of like a comet. He's leaving a wake in the sky. And he then, oops, how did I do that? Okay. And then what happens next? So we go from the tank thing to this traveling through the sky thing, and then we hit this scene, which is the dragon spewing scene. This is Draco. He is in the image of a green dragon or a green comet. It is said that we're supposed to see a green comet around the 23rd of September. And he has a long tail, serpent's tail.
This might be one of the...
And he draws back at a moment here and he spews. You'll see it here in just a moment. He draws way back and spews. There he goes. When he spews, here comes symbolic fire out of the heavens, coming across through windows of time. This is talking about the dragon spewing and the earth opening up its mouth. Okay, here goes the spew. And here goes the mouth open and the being consumed symbolically by the earth, which means the people of earth, not the earth literally. There is the ugula hanging down. This is the mouth, opening of the mouth, which also looks just like an apple. And of course you got the waters inside, and this is all symbolic for something of fire, literally, entering the body. And then a number of different events take place once this happens. And he's riding on the back of Anubis, or a boat, basically, with the symbolism of Anubis, which is the god of the underworld, Egyptian god of the underworld. And so I'm just looking at all this and thinking out loud is really what I'm doing here. So let's come back out of here. So how does this, if at all, tie to, well, it certainly ties to events that are coming. Whether it has anything to do with the 4th of July, well, based on the symbology in the video here with the fireworks show we've seen and the daisy in the hat, and it's symbolizing something that's happening in the heavens, because of course this scenery here is meant to depict the heavens, something being seen or coming across the heavens that can be seen. And then this is symbolism for something happening in multiple places, the body, on earth, and in the heavens, and the world opening up its mouth. So will that be the next test method? You know, having to open your mouth. Last time it was up the nose. because they want to get to your ethioid bone and rub some crystalline material or micro needles, even possibly, in that area and deliver something. And I think it was a crystalline material to alter the frequency in which your ethioid bone connects to the world with. There is that. Whew.
I just want to take a quick moment, real quick, to just if everyone could say a prayer for people in LA and other big cities. Upcoming riots are about to go down in the next week or so, and all over the place, not just out here. But I've just got some updated information that there are literally huge caravans of patriots coming to LA to now it's getting to the point to where this is a very obvious staged thing to rile up and get this civil war thing going. And if we could all just say prayers that people don't start engaging in this.
No, stay out of it.
Stay out of this. Please do
Stay
not
out of all of it.
engage. It is a trap. And I just please and pray for all of us out here, because this is pretty much my backyard. I go out there all the time, and it's just don't engage. And again, this will be popping up all over the place. It's planned. It's coming in the next week or so. Not to scare anybody, I'm just telling you not to engage, because we don't want to fall for that deception of this great divide. That's only going to weaken everything and create more chaos. So
Stay away from this stuff.
please.
Yeah. You're not going to do nothing but put yourself in harm's way by getting involved in any of this insanity. It's all a setup. It's all by design. They want you to get involved. Literally, the people that are orchestrating it, the ones behind the hidden veil, they want you to do something about it. Come on, do something. They can't make their plans work without you doing something. So they're going to suck in as many people as they can.
It's that whole thing that Daniel had mentioned, that they want us to kill each other. And this is like literally
one of the ways
about to go down right now here in America. I mean, it's already happening all over the world.
They're being very violent. They're really trying to provoke the people's response, because the cops are literally beating the crap out of the people when they go up there. Just brutal. I've seen some footage from a YouTuber that's there, and he got gutted in the gut with a baton himself while he was filming. They don't even care that the camera's on. Mm-hmm. I happen to notice real quick, and then we're going to get on out of here in a moment, but I happen to notice, remember I was looking up the name of their V thing that you can see on, well, no, you can't see it on screen. I took it off. Okay. So there's the name of it again, right? I happen to notice that it matched Market's Plunge. That's straight out of my pet goat. That was it plays in the eyes, Market's Plunge. And then it also matched Skullduggery, which is the character of Father Time, Old Man Time, or whatever. And let's see, what was this one? And then it also matched the Invisible Man, which is what in Malaysian terms was tied to the word Nipah. The Invisible Man they were talking about, there was a spirit or deity, they called it an Invisible Man. Might not mean nothing, but I'm looking. Guys, there has been a huge crowd of you here today, and I hope if you're here that you'll subscribe and you won't allow YouTube and these other platforms to keep you from being able to gain access to people that are doing this kind of work, particularly people that are, I think I'm doing the best job I possibly can. Okay, so Um, if I don't have your contact information, go over to the website, TheSupernatural.Show, TheSupernatural.Show. Go there and sign up for a free membership, and that just gives me your contact information. It means that I'll at least be able to email you, hopefully, or send you a text or something so that we can try to stay in touch. Okay, so if I don't have your contact information, get it to me if you want me to have it. Okay. Um, oh, also, real quick, right here in front of everybody, I am canceling my affiliate member association with this company, Dr. Squatch Soaps. Their website has recently started using profane stuff, and I'm not going to have anything to do with it. So I will no longer, there may be a link below this video, but I will no longer be promoting their product because I'm not going to be associated with really some sick and, I could show you, really some sick and twisted advertising campaigns, okay? They're literally selling the bathwater of a harlot is one of the things they're doing. You can buy a soap that has the bathwater of this porn star in it. Not for me, I'm out.
That French toast?
Yeah.
Oh, God. What is why is this world so twisted? Oh, my
I know. Yeah, and I just can't have anything else to do with them. I am not going to sell out. Nope.
God.
Sorry, Dr. Squatch. You're done. You're done. You're very done. Matter of fact, let me show you how done you are. Let me see here. Where's it at? There we go. Yep. You're done, Dr. Squatch. Sometimes you think something's okay and then they just do something stupid. All right. Guys, we love you. Thank you, Shannon, for being here. Thank you to Roxy, Miss Kim, for being here as well. But most important, thank you to y'all guys for being here. And thank you to those of you who choose to support this work that I do. There's been a few of you that have went beyond the call of duty, and I greatly appreciate that. I thank all of you. I love you. Keep a mind of discernment. Don't allow your emotions to manipulate you to make quick, fast decisions. Don't ever make a decision or a choice until you have to. We've all got a lot on the line. I love you. Thank you again, Shannon, for being here today.
Yes, you'll see a lot more of me back then. So.
We will. Let's see, today's Monday. So we'll see you guys worst case Wednesday and Friday again at around 2 o'clock Eastern time. And if anything's crazy going on, you might hear from me in 30 minutes. So we'll love you, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye for now. Hold on. We're still live here. Fax is in the comments. Man, where are you? We've been trying to get a hold of you. Facts, nothing but the facts. And you're okay. We're going to finish back up here in a second, but dude, man, get back a hold of Roxy. We've been trying to get a hold of you. She's been tripping out because she can't get a hold of facts. So there is that. Please touch base with us, brother. We love you. All right. We're out of here again.